Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Yep. Good. Alright. Relationship first, single second. Okay. I don't think we need that. Let's just leave that as it is. Now, your energy is very interesting compared to your partner's energy. I'm feeling a mismatch. Oh, you got an upside down card, but it's a good one, actually, to be upside down. It's on your partner's side. This is your challenge card. Now, things are mismatched between you and your partner. It's almost like you're speaking two different languages. Because you have the Ten of Cups and you got trust here. And I feel like you're trusting that something is going to work your way. Trusting that your partner's understanding what you really want and it's not happening. You're trusting that they know what you want. Or that they know what you mean. They're not. They don't get it. Something is amiss. It's like literally like you're speaking two different languages and the translation is very weak. That's how it feels. You're feeling like, and you know what, you're right with, they do care. They do care. And that is there, but like the trust is telling me like you're expecting that they're just going to understand what you need or understand what you want next, and that's where we're having a problem, is what I'm getting. Now, the Six of Pentacles is showing up on their side, and what I'm getting here is they actually do think that they're doing what they feel like they're being giving to you. They feel like they're helping you out, and when they're doing this, I see as it keeps going forward, at first you're kind of like looking at it a little like, kind of like you're looking at them like, that can't be right. They can't have just been, that's not really, that, it's kind of like you're in disbelief as you're watching what they're doing. Because you realize they think they're doing this for you, and you're just like, no, that's not at all what I want. But you're starting to realize like this is literally what they think you want. It's not at all what you want. And you're just kind of like, well, now that it's gone this far, I could say something, but they're probably going to get upset about that. And not for nothing, if we try to change things now, how much success can we really have with that? It's kind of like, now it's almost like you wanted to go to a concert, and they chose like a country music concert, and you wanted something completely different. And you're kind of like, well, I guess we already bought the tickets and they already paid for the room. They already bought everything. Like, I could say something and we could try to cancel that out, but if I cancel that out, it's pretty much like nothing's going to happen at this point because we missed the chance to get the tickets I wanted for this other show. I actually rather just go see a magic show, but that's fine. And you're just kind of like, I guess. I mean, I get to spend time with my partner. That's kind of how this feels. It's not the end of the world, but it's kind of like, that's not at all what I wanted to do. Now, as it keeps going forward, things are a mismatch constantly here. Because I feel like, is this going forward? I do feel like it's going forward well. I do feel like whatever this is that they think they're doing for you, that does happen. After the fact, they're talking to you about repeating the same thing. Like, oh, it was better than I thought it was going to be. Let's do the next concert with this performer. And you're like, well, after the fact, after it's already happened, you're kind of like, the Two of Pentacles is kind of like, that was nice, But I think once was good. I don't think I really want to do that again. And the Two of Pentacles is trying to, like, you're trying to find a way to balance this out in the sense of, like, making it clear you're really not interested in doing that again or making it a pattern. But also you don't really want to make it sound like you didn't want to do it at the same time because you don't want to make them feel bad about it. So you're trying to find a way to not make this repeat, but also not seem ungrateful. So you're trying to do this just right. Like, I don't want this to happen again, but I don't want them to feel bad about it. Like, it was fine for what it was. Like, it was a new experience. That's fine. Gemini usually open to many different things anyway. So you're like, well, it's an experience. It was an experience to have. It's fine. You're not really upset about it at this point, but you don't want them to feel like you didn't like it. So you're kind of like, I don't really want to do it again. It was fine for what it was. Let's just leave it for what it was. And when you're doing this, you're bringing forth this information, they're feeling released from this. Literally, they got the shadow side reversed. This is the Devil card, but it's reversed. They're getting released from this bondage. Truth be told, they don't really want to do it again anyway. So it's not taking a lot of convincing for them to drop it. You're like, nah, I'd rather not do that again. Okay. Okay. Cool. Fine. It's not, I don't think they're that dramatic as I am. Sorry about that. But pretty much that's kind of like, you're not going to have to work very hard to get them to walk away from it. Now, there's something else coming forward, and I'm trying to see what we're doing. Because I'm seeing like there's a problem here. Because I feel like what the deal is like, it's like this one-shot situation, one-trick pony, if you want to say. It happens this one time, and it's almost like, okay, that's what you wanted, now I'm done. And you're saying, I don't really want that to repeat, and nothing is happening after that. They're literally, like, the Eight of Cups is happening here, like, job done, moving on. What's done is done, and moving on to something else now. Like, they're not trying to create something else here. Now, the thing is, this may not have been exactly what you wanted to happen, but you do want to keep doing things with your partner in the same type of category. Maybe not a country music concert. Maybe that is what you want. Whatever makes you happy. But you're like, I'd rather do some other things like this, just not exactly this. Maybe you do like country music, you just didn't care for the performer your partner chose. Maybe it's something like that. Whatever it might be. Well, it doesn't matter, you know what I'm saying. So you're realizing that they're kind of walking away from this, and you're just kind of like, you know what, they didn't work out exactly like I wanted to, but I don't want it to completely end. The Ace of Wands is in your spiritual position. They're saying if you want this to come forward, again, if you want something else to come of this, you're going to have to bring it forward. The Four of Pentacles is making me feel like, all right, letting it happen on its own didn't work out. But also just leaving it to where it is now, nothing else is going to come of this. You're not really liking that either. Not that you want to keep doing the same thing you didn't really care for to begin with, but they're saying if you want something else to come of this, you're going to have to create it. You have the Ace of Wands. It doesn't have to be the end is what I'm getting. You've got the abundance here. Abundance here between you and your partner. If you want something else to come of this, you need to create it. If you let it go just as it's naturally going and you just let it take its natural course, I'm getting nothing's going to happen. It's just kind of going back to square one is how this feels with the Nine of Swords. Because if you're leaving it up to your partner to make these decisions, they either make the wrong decisions or they don't make any decision is what I'm getting. Either walk away completely or they don't make any decisions. I said that the same thing twice there. Or they make decisions that you don't really want. So, and this is why this card is actually a positive spot for you, is this is what helps. Realizing if you actually want something good that you really want to come out of this, you're going to have to take the lead. You have to take the lead, the Ace of Wands, to make this happen, to really make it a good situation. And that's the realization, like if you really want this to be a good situation, you're going to have to call the shots and make the plans and make it happen. Your partner will go along with it. This is face down. Your partner, see, I don't see them really, they don't seem to have the direction they need. For whatever this is, if you want to do things with them and you want to do something like going to concerts or going out and doing this and going out doing that, they seem to be very shallow on direction, if that makes sense. You know, they don't seem to really know what to do with it. They seem to have a little bit of anxiety about what they should do, and they just try to take the easiest path and just do it and move on. So you're going to have to be in control of this if you want this to happen. Because I'm seeing, like, this is face down. Like, your partner really doesn't know what to do in this situation. They don't really have the direction. You'll notice both these cards. One of them's the Fool, but the other one with boundaries, to me, looks like the Fool. The way that person is doing the same thing with their head that the Fool is. They're looking up in the sky. They're just kind of like, what's going on? You'll notice with the boundaries card, though, that person like has a boundary before. They can't really see what's going on around them. They're just kind of limited, if you will. They're very limited. So they're saying, this is face down, saying your partner really is lacking direction, lacking knowledge to know what to do with this. They just don't seem to be there. I don't know. They just seem, there's a lot of lack there. But they're willing to do it. But if you take the lead, this will become something. If you leave it up to them, this is your outcome. You're going to be disappointed, but they're not going to know what to do. If you try to just kind of push them, like, what else? Think of something else. Do something else. If you just kind of prod them to just create a different situation, they're not going to know what to do. It's going to kind of die out is what I'm getting. Nothing's going to happen. This can go better. You just got to take the lead and drive the situation forward. If you take the lead and drive the situation forward, something good will come of it. You will have what you want. If you leave it to them, it's going to slowly fail, and you're not going to get what you want. I think we're good. All right. The abundance card is here, though. It's saying you do have a lot of possibilities. It's just, if you want it to happen, it's you taking the lead. Definitely you taking the lead. All right. So let's do Gemini singles. What do we have for Gemini singles? Let me see if I can flip this card back around. Messages for single Geminis. What do we have for single Geminis? Messages for single Geminis. What do we have for single Geminis? Messages for single Geminis. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll do these two. I usually wait to shuffle these until after I've put down the first row of cards, but okay. Single Geminis. I feel like this comes in quick and goes where it's gonna go. This feels like it's all like, it feels like there's a lot of confusion. It feels like it all happens at once. There's not a lot of time between events, if you will. It's all squished straight in together. You've got the Star card here in the history of the situation. So I feel like you definitely know what you want. Which I know that Gemini has a lot of different aspects. You see things at a lot of different angles. But when I'm connecting with this, like, you want somebody that's going to keep up with you mentally, somebody that's very sexually stimulating. I feel like that's very important. But not somebody you have to keep tabs on. You want them to be like actively coming towards you. You know where they're going. They're not in your face constantly, but you don't have to guess what they're doing. You know, like, you don't have to guess about if they're being faithful or not. You know where that is. So those type of categories, you know what you want. How's that? Now, somebody is coming forward, and you're seeing very positive aspects to this person. Dependability is very strong here. You've got the Ace of Wands, and you've got the Seven of Pentacles coming up. You've got more Pentacles in here, actually. You've got the Two of Pentacles, and you've got the Emperor right in the center. So you're seeing somebody that's very dependable. You know what they're about. You know where their morals are. You know that when they tell you, I'm going to go down the street and pick up this and come right back. Literally, they go down the street, they pick up that, whatever, they're only picking up what they said they were going to pick up, and they come right back. Literally, they're that predictable. And it's weird because you're balancing this out with the Two of Pentacles, kind of like, all right, there's a lot of really good aspects here. But they might be predictable to the point where I don't know about this. Like, they're so predictable, like, I could set my clock by them. Like, that's kind of good. Like, you're kind of like, that's kind of good. because you got the Moon card here, you're questioning, like, this could be very monotonous and boring, but this could be very liberating and dependable. Like, can I be spontaneous enough on my own? Can I keep myself, you know, is there enough here that it's okay that that's very predictable? Because they're very predictable. Because for what I'm getting here, when they say they're going to do something, they do it. But, ironically, when it comes to conversation skills, they can keep up with you in a conversation way, which is very intriguing to you, because you're like, your mind can go a lot of different places, yet you seem to be very rigid with what you actually do. And you're questioning this. You're just kind of like, how is your mind so liberated, yet your actions are so static and so stuffy? Like, the way you go through life seems just so the same, yet your mind, I can have a lot of different conversations with you, and you could keep up with those so easily. And you're very intrigued. You're like, the Moon card is here kind of like, what else is to this person? Like, what is the deal here? Because usually you have somebody who can keep up with you mentally, and they're usually all over the place at the same time. Or they're very dependable and secure, but the conversation bores you to tears. The fact that you got somebody you can keep conversation with and they're dependable, you're like, how does that match? That's strange. To you, this is very intriguing. If this is hitting with you, you're coming across somebody that's very intriguing. And you're trying to work out, like, is this really, like, and you're even starting to question, like, do they actually keep up with me mentally, or are they just giving me lip service? On the other side of the hand, you're also kind of like, are they as dependable as they seem? Or is this just a show? Like, is this all real? Like, can this really be real? You've got the Queen of Cups where you're standing, you're questioning, like, is this really how this is? And you're keeping your emotions to yourself because you're kind of like, I don't really know if this is real. Like, is this person for real? You got the Queen of Swords in your thoughts, by the way. So you're really, like, scrutinizing this. Is this really happening? Now, I'm noticing them here with the Page of Swords. They don't keep up with you as much as you think they do, but they do hold enough to where they can follow a conversation when you're getting really excited about something. They tend to follow along quite well, but they're not as strong as you. They're not able to follow everything you're doing. They don't know you bit by bit. They can keep up with you mentally to a point. Enough. I would say enough. It's not as much as you think they do. Let's put it that way. They're not keeping up with you as much as they think they do. You think they do. I'm feeling more earth there here than the air connection, if that makes sense. And I feel like you're going to figure this out as time goes on. Like, they try to keep up with you, but sometimes they are left off in the weeds. Dependability, though, they definitely have that. I feel like that's the strongest trait here. I feel like that's the stronger of the two traits that I'm connecting with if this is hitting with you. Now, as you keep going forward, I feel like you need to figure this out. I actually feel like you're more relieved with that, to tell you the truth, when I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles. As time keeps going forward, you're realizing the dependability, the kind of like this is how they live their life, that seems to be more connected here. You're okay with that, because as long as the conversations keep going and you can kind of direct things that way, that means there's ability for movement left or right. It may take some time for that to happen, but you're okay with it. Your outcome is going to be the Queen of Wands. You do have passion for this person. There's enough here for you. Mentally, there's enough stimulation here for you to keep going. The dependability is making the situation very secure, and you're okay with that. I do feel like the passion is going to get stronger over time with this. So I do feel like this is a good one. It's just in the beginning I feel like you're questioning, like, is this real? Something has to be BS here, because this is just a little bit too unbelievable for me. They're not keeping up with you mentally as much as you would hope they would, but they are keeping up with you enough that you're happy. It's taking you some time to really see it, though, because they seem to be quite good at, you know, their own little verbal banter is what I'm getting. So it's taking you a while to realize that you're a little bit more than they are with the conversation, but it's enough. You're good. You're happy. All right, I think we're there. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.